erecting.
There's a family business down in Portland, Indiana that really has blown up over the years.
These artisans combine glass and fire to design small works of art treasured all around the country. You'll meet the man who create hand-blown beauty next in Made at Home. Today in Made at Home, I want to take you to a little place that's out in the middle of the country, perhaps one of Indiana's best-kept secrets, a place where craftsmanship is alive and well. Today, Dunlavy Handcraft, where hometown pride is blown into beautiful pieces of art by a husband, wife, and son team. Of the country, about 5 miles south of Portland, lies Indiana's own version of Jamestown. In this old pole barn, mounds of glass are transformed from a hot glowing ball into a glassmaker's art. It's the combination of the skilled hands and imagination of Monty Dunlavy, a master craftsman with more than 30 years experience.
Right out of high school, I started to work for a little company in West Virginia. Jobs were hard to find for high school graduates, like they always are, and I had a little pull at that factory in my hometown, so I started there.
Stepping into this workshop is like stepping back into the 1600s.
I don't like pressed-ware, I don't like machine-made glass, and I don't want a machine in here. I prefer to blow in wooden molds, and I carve the wooden molds out myself. This is the closest thing to a mold that we use on the paperweights. It's just a hollowed out piece of wild cherry wood. We use it to round it up, and then we use a newspaper, which is just a smoother texture wood, to shape the paperweight with, and this doesn't allow for any lines in the paperweight.
Each week, 900 pounds of molten glass are heated at 2,800 degrees and turned into art with 5 layers of glass. While we were there, Monty and son Jim formed a paperweight.
Pushes the soft molten glass down with the ice pick and makes a stem of the flowers. Then I take it and put a final layer of glass over top of it and put the finished shape on it. Then my wife takes it and lets it cool off to about 1,200 degrees, and then she takes a torch and stamps my name in the bottom of it.
At the hands of Monty, this mound will become a beautiful glass vase.
You don't have to blow real hard at all, you just whisper.
While it may take longer, he says he prefers to carve his own creations using only his eyes and hands as tools.
Just an old-timer, I suppose, hard to change.
Let's hope he never does. We had a lot of fun down there today.
That's awfully interesting. And his works are in some mighty famous places?
They are. He has got, he helped in the restoration out at Rockefeller Center, and he has got this map in the corner of that pole barn with thumbtacks showing all the places. They are all over the United States, mostly the eastern half.
You're right. It could be one of Indiana's best-kept secrets.
Well worth the trip down, folks.
We'll be right back in a second.
shape on it.
What'd you tell me earlier? Say it real loud so we can pick it up.
This is the closest thing to a mold that we use on the paperweights. It's just a hollowed out piece of wild cherry wood. We use it to round it up, and then we use the newspaper, which is just a smoother texture wood, to shape the paperweight with, and this doesn't allow for any lines in the paperweight.
Cooled down enough to knock from the pipe. I'll put it in the annealing oven. It'll stay in the annealing oven for about 24 hours. That up a little bit with the paper to keep from blowing right on through the bottom. Now I'm going to go into the mold, put this into that wooden mold, and I'll blow it up to shape. I'll come out of the mold. Here we go. We want to break this end loose from the pipe and put the finished top on it. So Jim has attached a pontal to the bottom of the article, and I'll break it loose here, and we'll have to heat it in, get it hot, shear it, and put the finished shape in.
I ever seen in my life. Well, they make machine wear and pressed wear, and you can make 200, 250 pieces a minute of this type. It's pressed out into an iron mold with a design in it that hides all the flaws and the other things, whereas ours are completely handmade. It's a much slower process. We make 6 to 8 paperweights an hour, as opposed to their 200 to 250 a minute. Although by keeping it small in a small studio, which like we have, we can keep the cost down. Our paperweights are quite moderate and are in the same price range as a pressed wear. Well, there's 5 steps really. We gather a little crystal out of the furnace and pick up some chips of white glass or whatever color we want on the bottom of the paperweight. The chips of glass adhere to the hot glass, and we heat it into the furnace and pick up twice on the bottom. Then Jim, who gathers this bottom, forms it up into a little dome shape. I then gather some more crystal out of the furnace and drop it into a little flower mold that has 5 spots of colored glass in it. Jim will pick this up on the bottom and get that hot and smooth that glass out. Then we have to add another layer of glass that magnifies these flowers. If we didn't add this step, it would be like looking down the wrong end of a telescope. The flowers would be real small, but by adding this one little layer of glass, that magnifies the flowers and makes them look larger than they really are. Then he takes a probe and punches holes around the bottom of the paperweight and for the blossom of the flower, and then takes an ice pick and pushes the soft molten glass down with the ice pick and makes a stem of the flowers. Then I take it and put a final layer of glass over top of it and put the finished shape on it. Then my wife takes it and lets it cool off to about 1200 degrees. And then she takes a torch and stamps my name in the bottom of it. Each paperweight should, by the way, have the artist's name stamped in the bottom or autographed. Then it's put into an annealing oven and is there for at least 24 hours where it cools down gradually and isn't taken out of that annealing oven until late the next evening.
Like this, and the gun, the big gun on top of the turret